Hello everyone! Welcome to the video. Today, I wanna get started on another hub. I really need one. Like, we have the witch farm somewhere over there, and we have our spawn island somewhere over there. It's far away and difficult to get to. The easiest way is just doing some obstacle course. Flying in this direction. I think underneath here, and yeah. As somewhere over there. So we need some way else to do it. One thing I've been thinking of is creating something like a subway, which we could do, and I think I'm going to do. But I want something in this area to represent our island in general. As you can see, we have the two portals here. This is from our industrial area. This one is from our fantasy area. But it's on the same island. So, my idea is to do something like they do on the Hermitcraft server, in a way smaller scale and probably not nearly as cool. But still. So I want to create a bit of a map of our island here on the ground. And for that I've brought a bunch of carpets, or a bunch of wool, since we have the wool farm. So it could be something like, just represent the grass, we have something like this. And as said, I'm not gonna do like the Hermitcraft server, doing a whole lot of, what's it called, using different programs and stuff. It's more gonna be of memory. I might do this 3-dimensional, so it goes up and down some places, but I don't know yet. The first thing I'll need to do though is to sort of flatten this area, and maybe even, the question is whether or not I should have lights in the ground. We do have the witch farm now, so I could just AFK there for a couple hours and get some glowstone. I will probably need a lot though. But yeah, let's start off by removing this area. Well, I don't remember emptying this. What? Oh yeah, I must have one called, yeah, lights. Oh yeah, that is okay. Alright, but I'm gonna need a lot more for this. Okay, so what I need to know now is around where our island stops, basically. So how far out is there to like our last thing, which is probably the mob farm? So I know a rough diameter of where everything is. So I'll have to create a few more portals. As well as that, it would be nice to have the center as well. So I'm probably gonna create a portal inside of our time glass. Yeah. I feel like it's not that long ago I refilled my obsidian, and I'm missing again. Maybe I just need to take like one huge session and fill up a complete sugar box with them. It would be smart. It's just so boring. Here we go. We have some portals set up. This one over here is the mob farm. This one over here is the center of the time glass. So we want there to be a circle around this area, from this to that one, and the same length to the other side, just to have it consistent. Is my wish, at least. So for this, we know, as you can see, I have some things written down here while trying to figure this out. Minus 606 is the coordinate of this portal, right? And 40 in the Z direction. So from here to there is 37, and a difference of 19, minus 19 in that direction, right? So we want the same thing in the opposite direction, that way. So we add a plus to this, and as you can see, I've made an error here. So we have plus 37 to the minus 606. I know this is written really weird, but just bear with me. Minus 569 and plus 19 to the 40 40. Sorry, that's 59. All right, click a 3. 69. That is 59. So we have it here. We go in this direction, and this should be the spot. All right. This will be the area we need to have between from this. This is basically the end of the circles. To figure out how many glowstone blocks we will use, we have to figure out what the exact distance is between here and here. In this case, we can think of it like vector calculations, if you know these. So we can take the square root of our two numbers, in this case 37. It doesn't really matter if it's plus or minus, since it will be positive anyway. Uplift it by 2, the plus the 19, uplift it by 2, and take the square root of all this. I have already done the calculation, and the result is 41 point, I think, I'll check again. Yeah, 41.6, we'll just round up to 42, right? Alright, so that's the radius of our circle we'll generate. Next up, we'll have to take this radius, and I want to figure out the surface area of the circle, which I am pretty sure is 2 times pi times our radius, in this case 42, and I'll just do this quickly. 2 times pi times 42. Alright, that's 263.9, 263.9, 264. That's the amount of glowstone blocks. Yeah, blocks, I'll say. Glowstone blocks we'll need for this surface area. I chose instead to change the radius to 47, as I've marked out here, just to make sure that when I create the circle, this one doesn't get like too near the edge or at the exact edge. Although I sort of realized that this is way bigger than I actually thought it would be. Oh yeah. Oh, that's how it goes. I don't mind. I feel like I remember in another episode saying that I would never create circles again. And I remember why now. This never adds up whenever I try to do it. This took way longer than expected. But it's done now, nonetheless. Next job will be to fill in this middle section with glowstone. There actually is a calculation error somewhere in this circle. I'm not 100% sure where it is, but I know where I corrected it. So I'm not going to tell you where it is, just because I'm fearing that it's going to annoy you as much as me. But nevertheless, it looks like a circle, and it's only off by 1 block. So technically it is an ellipse, then, when you think about it. Oh, I feel so stupid now. Alright. Most of you have probably realized by now that I have done the math completely wrong. What I calculated earlier for the circle was the circumference of this circle, meaning the amount of blocks needed to get around like the outside part here. The amount of blocks that, basically the amount of stone blocks you see in this circle. So, to figure out the area inside of the circle, how many glowstone we need, we're gonna have to use pi times the radius uplifted by 2, meaning that, yeah, the amount of glowstone we need is not 300. I did think it was a bit small, but the amount of glowstone we need is 6,900. Well, that's a lot more than I have. Damn. I guess it's gonna take a long time for this episode to get out. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a huge error. I should have double checked the formula. So, we need 6,940 glowstone blocks, right? For each glowstone block, we need 4 dust, meaning 4 times the amount. That's 27,760 glowstone dust. How many stacks is that? So, that would be, divide that by 64, right? That's meaning 433? Yeah, 434 stacks of glowstone dust. Yeah, and we're gonna have how many is this? I believe it's 48 we can have in this. I might be wrong, I'm not sure. But yeah, we that's gonna be very difficult to get, actually. So I'm gonna AFK here for a while, but I think we're gonna have to go with something else than glowstone for most of this, or this is gonna take a very long time to do. So I basically spent quite a while actually trying to upgrade this farm a bit, since I've noticed a couple of flaws. Or maybe not flaws, but optimization opportunities, I would call it. One of them being that I noticed a few of the materials would stay up on the top here. To fix that, I placed one of these water sources going this direction. So basically everything that's up top here now should get sorted no matter what. That's good. One thing I tried to do was to abuse the entity cramming feature to kill these using minecarts. And even though I've tested it, this didn't work, so that's the reason why I haven't showed you this. The upside or downside is that we have all these minecarts left over. Oh yeah, that was a bit sad. Another thing I tried to fix was down here. So basically before we tried to funnel all of these through a single point into this into the stream through the middle here. And I noticed that they very often got stuck. So, in trying to improve this, I saw online that some people used clicking sideways, and this seemed like a good idea in my opinion. Maybe it still is actually. I thought the only downsides would be the extra amount of time and the one getting stuck here before it gets pushed by the next one. But apparently they still managed to get stuck here. I am now thinking though that if I move this one more to the side and then make them funnel this way, that would improve it. I actually think it would. One second. Oh yes, this definitely seemed to work better. Because now they can only get pushed from one direction. When I had it like before, it could get both pushed in this direction and this direction. When I had it like I had earlier, it was 3 different directions. So towards the one, and left and right. So, this seems to be quite good. Nice. The last thing I would really love to find a solution to the entity problem though. Having them like this, like it does work. It's just the map cap is filled, is constantly filled on near the edge, so that I think they're able to spawn less underneath here. I think. One overnight AFK session later, and this is the results. I'm actually quite disappointed with this. I thought it would be way higher. Yeah, I'll see how far this goes. Well, that didn't stretch far. Oh, it is quite a spectacle though. But I have to find some other kind of solution. So, even though I'm not done filling this up completely, I think I'm gonna start placing down some carpets now. Since that there is actually a chance that we have to change the height for some of this. So I want to have a bit of a feeling of how things look before I start placing in too much. Which is already too late. But nonetheless, it seems like a smart idea. So, the way I'm gonna do this is generally put down carpets where I believe the island is. This is the industrial area, and I don't really have that great a feeling of how long this is, but you can just place something like this. It will be a bit more guesswork. One of the sad things about using the, what's it called, torches here is that they are a bit more difficult to place, but nonetheless, I'll survive. It'll just take a bit more time. Alright. So, I feel like this is probably very consistent. And then we have, I don't know if I would call this an island. I don't know how to do anything with this. We have the little castle thing, which is here. So I'm gonna go around and do that. Get a general feeling for how this looks. Okay, so this is my very, very rough sketch of the island. It's not very correct, I will be honest. But it does have the general shape. And when we add more portals and stuff like that, I will make it fit better. But as it stands now, this will do. I actually don't know. I've actually used up all my coal to do these torches, so I don't know how I should do this. I don't have actually carpet enough, so I have to find some solutions for that. I can't really agree with myself on what I think of this. So like, I do think it looks kind of great having these colors mixed in the way it does. I just sort of wish that we can have like a small edge here. A solution would be to lower this by 1 block. But that, first of all, that's too much. And second of all, I want to be able to go like, just go straight forward and don't need to click spacebar in order to jump between this. I don't know if there's any like easy solution for this. I have basically chosen to go for something completely different. I'm thinking of doing something like this. I still get these quite large blocks, but like I get that three-dimensional effect. As you can see, when I tried to use like a couple of different carpets here to represent the ground, but it just didn't look right. So I'll try and play around with this and maybe create some 3D shapes. The only sad thing about this is, first of all, that this is a bit too dark color, but that's alright. And the things are able to spawn on here, but there might be a workaround for that though. Funny thing is, I have sort of realized that it's not going to be possible for me to finish this in this episode. Well, mainly because that these materials are freakishly expensive. In between these clips, I have been doing a lot of AFKing as well. I've also sort of realized that in terms of the colored carpets, I actually think it's faster to AFK at the mob farm, then convert the string to wool, and then make blue wool of it, since we need these large amounts. On the positive side, we don't need the green ones now. But yeah, this whole project is a lot more expensive than I originally imagined being. Progress has been made. This is quite a huge project actually. It's beginning to look like something. I'm actually really liking the look of this. It isn't really able to be used for the witch farm, for example, yet, but I have an idea to create a sort of a section here with something related to it. But that will also require ice, and a lot of it, as well as sand and other stuff. So I think they're gonna have to be put on hold until for now. This project actually costs a lot. It basically took up all my coal to do these. It took up all my glowstone to do this. I have run out of lapis as well. I have run out of wool, which I need to refill. This takes up a lot of materials. So I don't know if I'm gonna do. Whoa. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna continue on this next episode, since it will depend on how much AFKing I'm able to do. So I'll see. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is really an interesting project. I kind of like doing these big projects. I just needed to be more prepared. I thought this would be way simpler. Oh yeah. But yeah, when this gets done, it's gonna look so great. I'm kind of excited for it. Yeah, nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.